Hi, welcome again to the When I Wanted Out talk show. I'm still your host, Kola-Edun. This is a platform where we promote meaningful relationships through storytelling. Now, this episode, we're discussing a very interesting story titled, He Left Me When I Needed Him the Most. Now, this story is about a young woman who fell in love with a man who was the only child and son of his parents. His mother seemed to have liked her initially, but when the man was ready to take the relationship to the next level, his mom became hostile and started treating her differently. Now, he, however, did the introduction without the mother's support. He got them a place to stay, and his mother became even more hostile. They were both advised that if they had a child, maybe his mother would accept her. Now, when the baby wasn't forthcoming after 2 IVF rounds and an ectopic pregnancy, the man left. She went into a depression for a couple of years, and when she picked up the pieces of her life, she eventually got married to a perfect gentleman and had a son naturally in the same year. Now, to discuss the story with me, I'm Mr. Wale Obaramo. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
And Miss Ene Demide. Thank you so much.
I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, I would start with Ene. Do you see yourself getting married to a man like this?
And I take a deep breath before I continue because, it's difficult. Do I see myself? Yes. However, I don't think that should be the case.
Okay, why would you see yourself getting married to someone like this?
Because when you're in love with someone, that's the only person you see. And then a lot of times when two people are in a relationship, they believe as long as we're okay, we can overcome everything. So the couple now, or the two people in a relationship will just say, look, we can do this. We only need each other. You know the scratch?
Yes, we start from the bottom and we walk our way up.
So you feel it's just the both of you in the relationship and it's just you, both of you. You are the only people that matter. But guess what? That's not reality. The reality is the family you're marrying into.
So it's important, you need to realize that you're marrying not just the person, you're marrying the family.
Friends.
So would you allow your mom have that level of influence on the woman you marry? Because this man his mom did not give him blessings.
The truth of the issue is that the mom and the man himself, they are unfair to the lady. First and foremost, why would the mom interfere, meddle so much to the extent of trying to determine the spouse of his son? It's fantastic to look out for the welfare of your child or children. But the fact remains that it gets to a point where you should know when to abstain, when to take a step back and allow your son to become a man in his marriage. And for the man himself, I think he knows the kind of mom he has.
Right.
Trying to play games with the woman's emotion and everything is totally unfair.
Right.
You know your mom, you grew up, your mom's first husband. So you know some certain thing that would naturally occur. So it's something that could have been handled before.
If the man was able to stay and create those boundaries. Is that what you're saying? He needs to be able to create the boundaries.
He needs to be able to create those boundaries. Right. Then again, needs to know how to do balancing between the mom and the wife.
So it's not the woman's responsibility to know how to negotiate with the mother-in-law. It's the husband, the son, that needs to...
Correct.
Yes,
First and foremost is the man that ought to have placed that in place and ensure that, okay, mom.
But in this instance, the guy did not get the mother's blessing, but still went ahead to say, okay, I love this girl, mommy, your support is good, but it's not there. I'm still going to go ahead and do the introduction. Went to get them a place.
Well, for me, that's a red flag.
Okay, red flag how?
Red flag in the sense that you are the only child.
Yes.
You didn't get your mom's blessing.
Okay.
It's a word that is going to happen someday, sometime.
Right.
With the wife.
Right.
It's the time bomb.
It was a time bomb.
So my own take on that is, I don't think the man was ready. So again, he's the only child. So of course we expect that the mother has pampered him, giving him everything. So he wasn't ready emotionally. He may have thought that he was ready. So when you're ready for marriage, you're not thinking just the physical or just the now. It's an emotional thing that takes, you should be ready for challenges, you should be ready for the good times, the bad times. So it was just clear that he wasn't ready psychologically to let go of his mother or let go of his mother's influence. And from the story, you could see that the mother eventually got through to him. And if you're matured enough, when you're ready for marriage, you should be ready to the extent that come what may, your decision is your decision. And yes.
But here is something that troubles me about this story. The mother came to their house. Now, we don't know the backstory, but the mother of the boy came to the house and slapped the girl. I don't know if you remember that.
Yes.
She slapped the girl in the house that the man rented for them.
And
so at what point is enough?
Under no circumstances should a mother-in-law slap
the daughter-in-law.
It's bad. She has crossed the line. And the fact remains that at that point in time, like Anna said, once you're in love, you're in love. You are even in lust, as a matter of fact. So you could be able to forbear certain conduct, but you should be able to decipher as well when to turn your back and be realistic with yourself.
Right.
It's not going to end.
So the playback between the mother and the girl was going to continue.
Was going to continue first and foremost.
Right.
Then secondly, what role did the husband or the would-be husband play after your mom had assaulted your wife to be?
Yes.
You need to put that into circumstances and
why would you do that?
Love alone cannot do it.
Yes.
That's the truth.
yes.
So here is where I find it really hard to digest. Why is it that mother-in-laws? Why is there that thing that mother-in-laws just want to cause confusion in their children's home? It's not all mother-in-laws, but why is it that mother-in-laws will not let their sons just go? Just let them be. Why? I will start with her, then I will come to you because you're the man that can give us the right answer clearly. But let's...
Mother-in-laws, we love you. Mothers, we love you. But it's a mother's instinct. They see you as their baby, and however old you've become, you've got married, you have kids, you are still their baby, and they feel like, look, I know better. You know what they're saying? What an adult can see, even if a child stands. Till whatever age you get to, they still see you as a child. So they still feel like they are in a better position, regardless of whatever, to advise and, direct you. So now it's left for you as the adult to be diplomatic about it. Take what you need from the advice and then leave the rest out. I mean, don't rub it in their face and say, oh, no, mommy, I don't want this, I don't want this. Just say, oh, thank you, don't worry, I'll look into it. And then, pick what you need and what will work for you. And then diplomatically leave the rest aside. And don't rub it in their face that you're not taking their advice. Yeah.
Okay, so what is your take? Why is it that mothers can't just leave their sons?
Well, in burnout, it stems from fixation. In psychology, there's something called Oedipa and electoral complexes.
Yes.
Where gender, the male is attracted to the female,
Yes.
the mother is attracted. You understand?
Yes,
Vice versa.
Yes.
See, like Anna said, you'll always be their baby.
Yes.
A man will always be his mom's baby. They are so protective. They are so, and sometimes women, from the women folks, they know what obtain is. The craftiness on the part of women. And when they have a lovely, loving son, a child that they are so fixated to, they try as much as possible to protect, which may stand to overprotection at the end of it. And will, later on, invade the space of the wife.
Yes.
Making her uncomfortable. It's natural.
Yes.
It takes understanding, it takes grace to be able to look away, especially from her mom.
But why is it? So usually they will tell you that as a young bride, you need to learn how to play politics, which is what we call apply wisdom.
Yes.
Right? You need to apply wisdom in dealing with your in-laws. But what if this young girl, these young brides of today, we don't understand how to play this politics? Between mother-in-law, playing sister-in-law, dancing around them, playing nice, all of that, wearing fake smile, plastic. You know, why must that be what we're teaching people nowadays? What's your take on that?
So the thing is, you cannot change the nature of man. Man is always very inquisitive.
Okay.
So you would always have people prying into your space, trying to find out what's going on. It's natural.
Right.
So now the thing is, the couple have to be in sync with each other. The lady cannot do it alone. The man cannot do it alone. So they have to work together. It's a difficult task, to be honest.
Yes.
It's one of the things that would make or break a relationship. But now you need the support of each other to navigate those that turf. It's not something that one person can do alone. So navigating the in-law space now, the husband has to be, because a lot of times you would have to use your husband as an alibi.
Right.
So the husband has to know or has to understand the psychology or what his family feels about you, and then know when to step in. In fact, sometimes he would find himself defending you when you're not there. Now that's what.
So what I'm hearing you say is that the man needs to be the one to set the tone for his family and his spouse.
Not just
Not
the
only,
man, even
The woman too.
Not only. Another thing is, women must learn to understand their environment very well, which includes your mom, your relative, your siblings, and everything. See, it's simple. Leave the hard part to it for the husband to help you to handle.
But what if the husband is not willing to help?
But there are basic things that could have been solved without involving your husband. You need to understand your mother-in-law. Is she a neat person? Is she a tidy person? What kind of food does she like? Is she a prudent person? Are you that lavish? These basic things.
So I need to be able to understand my mother-in-law to live peaceably with her.
You understand? Whenever she comes, she invades your space. You should be able to adjust.
But if she's there for 3 months, I don't want her there for 3 months. I'm just using that as an example, right?
You need to talk to your spouse. You need to come to terms in sync, like Anna mentioned.
But what if your husband says, this is the mother that raised me. This is the mother that sacrificed for me. Why can't she stay in my house for 3 months?
so.
It will be unfair, really.
Yes.
If your mother-in-law, I'm talking for men now.
Yes.
If you encourage your own mother to come to my house and stay 3 months, and you expect that the mother that raised me
Cannot come.
gave me everything, we cannot extend the same largesse. It's unfair. We should learn to live a balanced relationship where what goes to her as honorarium, gift or anything are shared equitably.
Okay, so you're saying balance it in the relationship. If your own mom can come and stay in this house for 3 months, why can't my mom come and stay for 3 months? You should be able to accommodate. But there are some moms that are really overbearing.
True.
There are some moms that just go overboard with this thing.
So, I won't even go through the route of if your own mom can stay 3 months, why not my mom? So are you trying to say that your mom should come and stay 6 months and then my mom will come and stay the remaining 6 months? No, what I'm saying is that kind of conversation should be had before. So we know, okay, if we're having guests, this is the maximum time they can stay. Those are like part of the major conversation. Same way you're having conversation as to how many kids do I want to have, what do I want to do afterwards. So that should be like a major thing, so that when it's happening, you already know that there is an agreement of some sort. So now I understand that life happens and situations change and things, can, turn the whole things upside down. However, because you've had that conversation, when something like that's happening and then maybe your mom is around and then she's staying over a month, you can then call your husband to the conversation that you had before, like, oh, babe, we had this. Can we make an
So I'm hearing you say that there needs to be serious communication between both parties on this kind of issues between mother-in-law and father-in-law. Okay, so we're going to take a short break. I want to tease in a little bit deeper into this because a lot of people are living with these issues and they are struggling with it. We'll be right back.
Are you in a relationship leading to marriage? Are you happily married or married with difficulties? Are you having issues with your in-laws? Are you unsure of what next to do in your marriage? If yes, join me, Kola-Edun, every Wednesday on the When I Wanted Out talk show, where we promote meaningful relationships through storytelling and we unpack real life stories with real people. You don't want to miss it. Kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on all other social media platforms. Thank you.
So welcome back. We're still on this issue of mother-in-laws and daughter-in-laws. Now, there's somebody right now that probably is watching this show and is asking, I don't know how to live with my mother-in-law. She's controlling my house. Everything I have in my house, my mother-in-law bought it. Everything, and she comes to the house and gloats about it. I can't even say anything. My husband just runs to his mother-in-law, or to my mother-in-law, to his mother, reports everything in this house that is going on to his mother. Of course, his mother is taking his side against me. What do? I don't even know. I don't know if I stay in the marriage. I don't know what to do. What is your advice? I'll start with Mr. Wali.
Well, I think, unfortunately, she has gotten married to a baby.
Okay, a mommy's boy.
A mommy's boy. So, she has to deal with it.
How do I deal with it if it's sucking me dry? I don't know what to do. I'm not sleeping well at night. This woman is pressurizing my life through my husband.
There are other social factors to it.
Okay.
Are you economically independent?
Yes.
Do you have a work? How many kids do you have?
Right.
Do you have none? Is this something that you can back out from?
Okay.
If there is no kid and there's no child of marriage, and you think it's not something you can condone any further, it's better to take a step back.
Yes,
if you have kids, and really and truly, if the mother-in-law's conduct is not that much, but you yourself, you are equally a nagging person.
Yeah.
Or you like dominating your husband, and you now find someone occupying your space or sharing it with you, definitely there's going to be
issues.
A feud, something like that. So I think, for the woman, she must learn to play politics. She must learn to play politics.
Apply wisdom.
I absolutely agree with you on that.
How does somebody apply wisdom? How do I play politics? What is your understanding of playing politics?
How do we play politics in our place of work? How do we play politics when we're doing anything? I mean, it's just pretty much trying your best to do the right thing and at the same time not stepping on another person's toes. So I feel like that's,
But there's something that you said, which was drawing boundaries.
Oh, yes. So I was going to take it off from where you stopped. I say this all the time. I can't even remember where I picked it up from, but you kind of have two queens in a castle. It's almost impossible.
Right.
So naturally, the woman is supposed to be the softer touch in the house, try to organize things and all that. So if at the beginning of the relationship or when you've just gotten married, you're not the person that did all that in your house, okay, that's already what's going on. So if your mother-in-law did that already, you should know that there's a problem.
So you're saying that I need to reevaluate. If my mother-in-law has control over my house, you're advising me to take a step back.
Not in all circumstances.
Okay.
Your husband may even be a spoiled brat, and the person she respects in this one may be his mother, and that's the person that can tame or control certain habits of ease to your own benefit.
Okay.
And if, in a positive manner, if the mom's influence is actually making your marriage to be stable,
then you really need to lean on it. But then there are some moms, like this woman was in particular at the point where she wanted this girl out. She did not give approval. And she became more hostile to the point of slapping her in the house and trying to get her out. So their mother-in-laws told that it is their main focus that this marriage will not work.
The truth is, I think the signs have always been there.
But yeah, they have always been there. You just
saying when you're getting or you're about to get married, you have a lot to do. It's not a child's play like they always say. You need to have emotional intelligence to read people, understand people, and understand whose side they're on. The lady saw all the red flags, but because she was in love,
yes, she chose to ignore the red flags and just go ahead.
Yeah.
So I would like to wrap up this conversation because I mean, a lot of us are going through this. A lot of people are going through this. mother-in-laws can be overbearing. But here's where I would want to jump in on this. Mother-in-laws, you need to be busy. If you're busy, you have a business, you have a fulfilled lover, husband that is making your life happy, you have no reason to go into your son's house, sit down there and become queen and master of all. That is my submission. If your mother is happy as a son, you have made your mother happy to the point she has a flourishing business, she's doing something that engages her husband and her are taking trips out of town, out of country. She really doesn't have time. Even when you call her for Omugo, she too is telling you that I have to go back to my husband. I cannot stay here endlessly. So I believe that for me would be my submission. If you're married to a mommy's boy and you have nowhere or no direction or what to do, you need to reevaluate, talk to people that have been there before you to see what next to do in your marriage. But mommies, daddies, aunties, sisters, uncles, please be busy in life so that you will let everybody enjoy their marriages in peace. And with that, thank you very much. And we hope to see you back next week. Take care now and bye-bye.